The Golden State Warriors are now 2-0 in preseason, and I'm here to tell you that means absolutely nothing. But you know what does matter? The production they've gotten from guys not named Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. In particular, some of the players they picked up during the offseason. Allow me to introduce you guys to one of the only players in the NBA capable of providing similar levels of shooting to Klay Thompson.
Here's Hield, another one. Hits again. Buddy Hield fit right in with the Warriors' offensive style in the first half. Hits another three. He's 5 for 5.
Yes, that is Buddy Hield. And in the recent game against Sacramento, he shot 8 of 9, which is slightly better than what Klay shot in his last game against Sacramento. Okay, I'm sorry, that was a low blow. I still love Klay. But this is what Buddy Hield can do. Obviously, he's not going to shoot 90% from the field every single game, but since 2020, he has made the most threes of any player in the NBA. More than Steph, more than Klay, and more than Damian Lillard. Obviously, injuries have played a part, but for the Warriors to have got Buddy Hield for absolutely nothing, we could look back on this move in 6 months and wonder how on earth did they get Buddy Hield for absolutely nothing? Because it's probably a good time to remind you guys that he is only 31 years old. In 2023, he averaged nearly 17 points a game and shot 42% from 3. Do we really think he just suddenly fell off a cliff? Well, if preseason is anything to go by, it doesn't look like that's what happened. And it's hard not to be confident in someone who can get shots off in a fraction of a second. Like here where he comes off the trace pin down, and the ability to take that one dribble to get rid of the defender before setting and firing at such pace is special. It's not strictly about his shooting either. I've mentioned this before, but what makes Buddy a legitimate scorer is the fact he can utilize that shooting threat he has to take players off the dribble. Like here where he curls off the Trace handoff, and with some help from Trace on that screen, he gets all the way downhill and finishes smartly. As I said before, don't expect Buddy to play like this every single game, but he is capable of doing this on any given night. And for the Dubs to have him coming off the bench, I don't see how this won't be a great signing for them this season. Another player who I expect to be a great signing is D'Anthony Melton, who in 2 games so far for the Warriors has shot 6 of 13 from 3, dropping 24 points in just under 35 minutes of action. And it might be easy to think of Melton as a Hield kind of player, but the reason these guys are both such great signings is they provide different attributes for this Warriors team. Buddy is just an absolute bucket, as we've already mentioned, but Melton is a guy that will knock down threes off the catch and off movement, but he's also going to go out there and harass the opposition's best perimeter player every single possession. It's this exact reason why Warriors fans, and even Victor Oladipo, yes, Victor Oladipo, are calling for Melton to be the starting 2 guard next to Stephen Curry. And I see why, with his ability to get in the passing lanes and force extra possessions. Even off a rebound like here, where instead of giving up on the play, he strips Zubac of the ball, giving it up to Steph before then getting it back and knocking down the 3. And this is what you should expect from D'Anthony Melton. Consistent hustle, fighting over screens, being a consistent threat in the passing lanes, and sometimes even blocking shots, despite only being 6'3". And if he continues to shoot this well, there's a very good chance he will get that starting spot next to Stephen Curry, with everything else he can do. But what I really love about these guys is not only can they work alongside Steph Curry with their off-ball ability, if you were to play them off the bench, they're both capable of handling the ball and playmaking, averaging a combined 6 assists per game last season. Just look at Melton get the pass from Pods, take the Kings defender off the dribble before then drawing a crowd of Kings defenders and kicking it out to Buddy, who had relocated for an open 3. This is the highlight of this Warriors team, in my opinion. There are so many players that know how to work with and without the ball. So many guys who have point guard-like traits, even the likes of Kyle Anderson, who is a point forward. And we know this is crucial when you're playing in a Steve Kerr system and you're playing with Steph Curry. It's a reason GP2 has been so great for the Warriors, because despite not being a ball handler or a shot creator, he's a high IQ basketball player, and this is what I see all over this Dubs roster. But it wasn't just the new additions who were shooting the ball well, it was every single player on the Warriors roster, because they shot 28 of 52 from 3. Yes, you heard that correctly. I probably should have started with this, because 28 threes is one less than the NBA record which the Milwaukee Bucks set 4 years ago. So it's fair to say the Dubs were shooting the absolute lights out in Sacramento. And one of those guys who was shooting lights out was Jonathan Kuminga. And we can talk about Buddy Hield and Lindy Waters and DeAnthony Melton and what their shooting could provide, but if Jonathan Kuminga becomes a consistent three-point shooter, similar to what Andrew Wiggins was during the championship season, the NBA needs to watch out. This is a genuine warning to the NBA. If Jonathan Kuminga is shooting anywhere near 40% from 3, you should be very worried. And there were a few shots he made that you wouldn't have seen from him last season. For starters, look at him bring the ball up the floor here and just casually step into a pull-up 3. Or even a play like this where Draymond gets the ball in transition and look at JK move to the space, catching and firing. Pretty much all we saw from him last year as a shooter was the occasional wide open 3s on spot-up opportunities. 2 games into preseason and we've already seen more variety. And this has been an emphasis from the Dubs during preseason. So we're really emphasizing to JK, to all our guys really, if you're open, let it fly. And as we continue to build more continuity with our stuff that we're executing, I think we'll get better at that. And the reason I say the NBA should be very worried about a Jonathan Kuminga jump shot is that's the only form of defense you have against him as a scorer. If you get too close to his body, he will use his lightning quick athleticism to blow past you. Or if you're a smaller defender and can keep up with him, he will have too much strength and will put you in the basket. We already saw JK become a consistent 20-point per game scorer over the second half of last season off his ability to get downhill and to the rim, also utilizing his mid-range as well, which doesn't get enough credit. But if he becomes a consistent threat from 3-point range, in addition to all of that, it's really a matter of picking your poison. And this will continue to be the biggest difference maker for the Golden State Warriors. We know Steph Curry and Draymond Green are elite when they're on the floor together. We know that they will get solid production from one of Melton or Pods as the starting 2 guard to go along with Buddy and Kyle Anderson off the bench, but how good can Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins be on both ends of the floor will determine if the Warriors are a good team or a legitimate contender. Because let's not forget, when Andrew Wiggins last played at an all-star level, the Dubs won a championship. When you surround Steph Curry with athletic wings that can make an impact on both ends of the floor, you are giving yourself the best chance at winning. And it's only preseason, but so far things are looking very good for the Golden State Warriors. Now, if you want to hear me talk more about the Golden State Warriors going forward, consider subscribing. It's free. Dropping a like on the video would be much appreciated. Either way, have a great day. Bye.